friends, welcome to Creating with Jovi and to 100 Days of Pockets, hosted by Cindy A. Lewis. Please be sure to check out Cindy's channel and also check out the description box, either on her channel or mine. She has a discount, 20% off of her 100 Days of Pockets booklet that you can purchase, and like I said, it's on discount, so go check that out and grab one for yourself. Now today we are creating an envelope flip pocket, and that's what this is. And it swivels like this so that you can access, pretend this is a journal page, flip this over, you can access the other pockets. We have one here, we have one here, and we have a large one here. So this little flip pocket has 3 pockets in it. I'm going to show you how to create this today. Let's get started. All right, my friends, we are going to start with a vintage envelope. You can use any kind of envelope that you want, new, used, junk mail, stationery, whatever you'd like. If you're going to use an old one like me, just cut off the rough edges. This one is dated 1989. You're also going to want some coordinating decorative paper, and I think I'll just choose one of these tea-themed papers. That'll be nice. I don't think we can go wrong with that. As usual, glue or double stick tape, scissors or paper trimmer, bone folder or spatula, or you can actually use the edge of your scissors to flatten out your creases. Embellishments such as washi tape, flowers, stickers, all that good stuff. If you have a hole punch or a brad or a crocodile, that might come in handy. And of course, if you like distressing, you can grab some ink. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Grab your envelope. Any kind of envelope that you would like to use is perfectly fine. I'm grabbing this one, as I showed you earlier, and I'm just gonna go ahead and trim off my rough edges here. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is decorate our envelope. This is a pretty good size envelope, so I might end up changing the shape. But before I get into any of that, I have this scrap piece. It's from the ones I showed you here. And I thought what I'd do is see if I can get her inside of the window so that we could see her having some nice tea, right? I think that looks pretty, oh, you probably can't see it. Let me get it closer. There you go. So I think that's a nice thing to have on the inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and glue her down. I'm going to take my tacky glue and I'm going to go around the edges with it. Face side up, of course. And I'm going to do another strip down on this side because I know that it's really her that looks through the window, so it's safe to put a little extra glue right there. Now we're going to go ahead and slide this in. I'm going to open this envelope up as much as I can. Pop this in here. Try to hold it up so the glue doesn't get smeared anywhere. Now you can grab your spatula, your scissors, or your bone folder and just push that glue around. Decorating her up like that is a great way to start this project. I think it already looks pretty. Now, let's decide what else we want to do. I feel that I'd like to, let's see, not sure how I'm going to put this in a journal, but I'm thinking that if I end up folding it here, we're just going to play for just a second. You can fold this here. We still have this. It might end up getting covered, or we could leave it open. It's kind of cool to be able to see the vintage information that's on it. But we can have, if we do this, we can have a small spot here for a tag. We can have a spot right here for a tag. And then, of course, we have this right here for a tag, or, you know, stationery, whatever you want to pop in there. So I do like this idea, and I feel that I would like to move forward with it. And I'm thinking also, I would like this edge to be a little bit more torn, not so straight right here. So I'm going to go in with my fingers, and I'm just going to tear this edge off of here, okay? All right, I kind of am liking that. And you know, I think I might, let's wait, let's see, this is gonna go up like this. Okay, so I'll just tear this little bit. That's how that'll look on that side once it's decorated. So let's go ahead and start with the decorating portion of this. I'm gonna grab some papers all of these coordinate, so that part's easy. Let's grab this one. That's very nice. I'm probably gonna need at least 3 of them. All right, if I need a 4th, we'll grab that when we need it. All right, let's go ahead and get this down on the envelope here so I can push this edge up right here, right to this edge, and I think that looks good. I'm gonna tear this off right here. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna glue this in place. Now, just so that you guys know, you could easily use a paper napkin to cover an envelope. Very easily, a glue stick and paper napkin. You could also use tissue paper, vintage wallpaper, wrapping paper. So you don't have to stick with scrapbook paper if you don't want to. Now let's open this up because we got a little glue on that edge there. Okay, so I'm thinking let me put something inside. There we go. I have a little bit of, what is this paper? It's like parchment paper. So we'll put that inside, and that way, you know, the glue won't stick to the envelope. All right. Now we are going to grab the rest of this. All right, now I need to go ahead and I want to get some paper onto this strip. I think that looks good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of glue on there. Now I'm getting ready to put a small piece right here to fill that in, but before I do that, I want to grab a soft pink and get down here into the corners just in case there's a gap with the paper, and at least it won't be just sitting there plain and white. All right, now that's looking pretty good. Now we need to decorate this side. And I think before I do, I'm wondering, should I, you know what, let me get something glued here and then I'll fold it up like that. So we'll glue it first. Let's see, we have this beautiful teapot. The size is just about perfect. I'd be foolish to not use it. So let's go ahead and do that. Now you don't have to fold your pocket up like I am. You can do yours however you'd like. This is just such a big pocket, I thought it would be sort of fun to fold it up. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue this into place. And I only need a strip up each side because that way we can have a pocket here and on the side. I'm going to give that a couple of minutes to dry, and while it's drying I'm going to put these clothespins in place just to hold them down and make sure they adhere really nicely. And while that's happening, we're going to grab another piece of paper. And I guess we will cover this. It's got the date on it and everything, but you know, we probably, if we really want this to look good, we need to go ahead and cover it. So we are going to put this here like that, but I'm going to fold right here so I can see the edge of the envelope. And then that way I'll know where to tear it. So I'm going to set it up here on my mat. And I'm going to put the fold right at this line here. And that way I can just use my ruler to tear, and it'll tear it nice and straight. Now we're going to measure side to side. And we could either add the ladies. Yeah, you know what? Let's make sure we add the ladies and then part of the cake. So I've got this here in the corner, and then I'm going to fold this. It's folding a little funky because my clothespins are in the way, but there, I think we got it. And I'm going to do this upside down because this is a nice, perfect straight edge. Here's the fold. All right, here we go. And again, we are just simply tearing it. You can cut it on your paper cutter if you want to, or use scissors. However you want to do it is fine. Okay, so once we get this down, it's going to look like this. It looks a little bit long, but that's okay. I can trim that once I get it glued on. I'm really not going to worry about it right now. All right, so we've got everything glued on, and I can see there's a few areas that I need to go ahead and clean up just a little bit with my scissors. And I'm just checking these to make sure that everything is glued down really nicely. And it feels pretty good. All right, so now I'm gonna just get those crazy overhanging parts, and I'm going to clean those up a little bit. This side looks pretty good. There's this one little spot right here. Okay, I think that looks pretty darn good. Okay, now I'm gonna grab my ink and my dauber. I'm gonna go ahead and use brown for this. I'm gonna go around the edges. I'm gonna put some right on this white paper here. There we go. Also here on this edge. All right, my friends, I do not have a journal for this particular pocket at this particular moment. However, I am going to use a piece of my handmade paper to show you how, well, to show you a few different ways that you could put this in your journal. Let's pretend that this is a page in your journal. So one thing that you could do to create a flip is you could take washi tape, and I'm not going to do it because I don't want it to stick to any of this, but you could run it down the side, and then it would flip like this. Now you can do the same thing with fabric. You could sew your fabric here, you could sew it onto your page, and then you would have a flip, okay? But also another one I want to show you is you can take a brad, and this I am going to do. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this because I can always, well, you'll see. Hold on, let me go grab something. So to get a brad through your paper, you could use a pokey tool and go through, but sometimes they can be a little bit small. So I'm going to use the small part. Here it is. There's a small side and a large side on your Crop-A-Dial. What I'm going to do is hold these into the place where I want my hole to go, and so I'm going to put it right here in this corner. Get the small one. Okay, here we are. Get in here. Hopefully I'm on camera and you can see what I'm doing. And we're going to go ahead and put this on here. Press down on our brad. There we go. Now, this can go like this or this. And let's say this is a journal page, and this I will probably end up gluing into a journal just like this. I can come up here, and then when you flip the page over like this, you'll be able to access this pocket. So let me grab something so I can show you the pockets. I grabbed this piece of paper. This is not what I'm going to put in here, but I grabbed it because it's really dark and you can see it really, really well. So let's pretend this was a tag, and whatever I end up putting in here is going to be a longer tag than this. But I wanted to show you that this is one of the pockets, right? So you'll be able to see that there's something in there. Then let's pretend, remember this is a journal page. We're going to flip this over. Actually, I'm going to pull it up like that. I'm going to flip this over. So now we're on the other side, and we're going to take this and open it up all the way. And we have a tuck spot here. And I'll just use this scrap to show you guys. We have another pocket here. And it's different from this pocket. And it's like a little secret because if you tuck this in, you won't be able to see it, and you definitely won't be able to see this. All right, my friends, so here we are on the front. I'm going to take this out because it doesn't look good, but you can see how large the pocket is. Then if we turn this like this, let me get this one out of the way, you can see that there is another pocket here, easier to access from the back once you do your little swivel, but here it is. And then you have this one. I think it turned out super pretty. I'm really happy with it. And I can't wait to create a journal that this can actually go in. Well, my friends, thank you so much for spending some time with me today. Be sure to head over to Cindy's channel and check out what she has created for today. I wanted to let you know that tomorrow is going to be a slanted side pocket. Thanks for watching. See you soon.